Welcome back to Cognitive Curves. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating aspects of human behavior, psychological tricks that actually work. These aren't manipulative or gimmicky, they're rooted in research, human nature, and our innate need to connect. Think of these as life hacks for understanding people and situations better, whether you're at work, in a relationship, or even just navigating day-to-day life. We're talking about subtle ways to build trust, handle tough conversations, and even influence outcomes, all without anyone realizing what's happening. So grab your coffee or tea, get comfy, and let's break down 15 psychological tricks that will not only work, but might just change how you see the world. Let's dive in. 1. The power of silence. Let the pause do the talking. Let's start with a trick that's so simple yet unbelievably powerful. Silence. Imagine you're negotiating a salary or asking for a favor. You make your request, and instead of filling the awkward silence that follows, you just wait. What happens? The other person starts talking. Silence creates tension, and people instinctively want to resolve it. Research shows this works in negotiations because it forces the other person to reconsider their position. Here's a real-life example. I once had a client who was negotiating their rent. The landlord quoted a price, and instead of jumping in with a counteroffer, they just paused. Guess what? The landlord dropped the price by $100 without being prompted. Sometimes saying nothing says everything. 2. Mirroring the subtle art of connection. Let's talk about mirroring, one of my personal favorites. When you subtly mimic someone's body language or tone, you create a subconscious bond. People like people who are like them. For example, if someone leans forward, you lean forward slightly. If they speak slowly and calmly, you match that energy. Here's the catch. This has to be subtle. If they catch on, it can feel awkward. But done right, it's incredibly effective. Once I had a friend who used mirroring during a job interview. The interviewer crossed their legs, so she did the same. They leaned forward, so she leaned forward. She walked out with the job offer. And the interviewer even said, "It just feels like we'd work really well together." That's the power of mirroring. 3. The Benjamin Franklin effect. Ask for a favor. Okay, here's a twist. If you want someone to like you, ask them for a favor. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but Benjamin Franklin discovered this trick himself. He asked a political rival to lend him a rare book, and after returning it, the rival became a lifelong friend. Why? Because we justify doing favors by telling ourselves, I must like this person if I'm willing to help them. For example, if you're trying to build rapport with a coworker, ask for something small, like borrowing a stapler or getting advice on a project. You're not just borrowing a tool, you're building a connection. Generic compliments are great, but specific compliments hit differently. Instead of saying, "You're good at your job," say, "I love how you handled that tricky client. It showed real patience and creativity." See the difference? It feels more genuine because it shows you're paying attention. Here's another example. Think about someone complimenting your outfit. Which feels better? Nice shirt. Or that color really brings out your eyes. The second one, right? Compliments that are specific and personal leave a lasting impression. If you're trying to get someone to agree with you, don't give them a single yes or no option. Instead, frame it as a choice. For example, instead of saying, "Can you help me with this project?" try, "Would you prefer to start with the research or the outline?" This gives them a sense of control while guiding them toward your desired outcome. I use this all the time with friends. If I want them to join me for dinner, instead of saying, "Do you want to go out?" I'll say, "Would you rather grab sushi or Italian tonight?" 9 times out of 10, they pick one. Ever binge watch a TV series because you had to find out what happened next? That's the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains hate unfinished business. Use this trick in conversations. For example, if you're pitching an idea, start with, "I have this incredible strategy that's been proven to work, but before I explain, let's talk about your goals." Boom! Curiosity hooked. This is especially useful in public speaking or storytelling. Leave your audience hanging for a moment and they'll lean in, eager for more. People love hearing their own name. It's like a little dopamine hit. If you're in a conversation, sprinkle their name in occasionally. For example, instead of saying, "Thanks for your help," say, "Thanks, Rachel, for making this happen." But pro tip, don't overdo it, or it'll come off as fake. Humans are wired to return favors. If someone gives us something, even a smile or a small gesture, we feel compelled to give back. For example, think about stores that give out free samples. You didn't plan on buying that fancy cheese, but after trying it, you feel a little obligated to make a purchase. That's reciprocity at work. Here's a negotiation trick. The first number thrown out sets the tone. If you're selling something, start high, even if it's unrealistic. That initial anchor influences how the other person perceives the value. For example, if you're selling a used car, list it for $12,000, even if you're willing to accept $10,000. That anchor makes $10,000 feel like a deal. Want someone to agree to something big? Start small. This is called the foot in the door technique. For example, if you're fundraising, ask people to sign a petition first. Once they've committed to a small action, they're more likely to agree to a bigger request, like donating money. Here's a simple but effective word, because. Studies show that people are more likely to comply with a request if you give a reason, even if it's a weak one. For example, "Can I cut in line because I'm in a hurry?" works way better than "Can I cut in line?" The reason doesn't have to be groundbreaking, it just has to exist. Humans are social creatures. We look to others to determine what's acceptable or desirable. For example, restaurants often leave a few tables messy, so you know people are eating there. It makes it seem popular. In your life, use social proof by pointing out what others are doing. "Everyone's loving this product," or "Most of our team has already signed up." It creates a subtle pressure to conform. Want to encourage good behavior? Reward it. For example, if your partner finally takes out the trash without being asked, say, "I really appreciate that you remembered." It means a lot. Positive reinforcement makes them want to repeat the behavior. Here's a freeing truth. People aren't paying as much attention to you as you think. This is called the spotlight effect. For example, if you trip in public, you might feel like everyone's judging you, but most people didn't even notice. Use this knowledge to worry less and take more risks. Finally, remember this. People form impressions within 7 seconds of meeting you. Use that time wisely. Smile, make eye contact, and stand tall. A strong first impression sets the tone for everything that follows. And there you have it. 15 psychological tricks that actually work. These aren't just tips. They're tools to understand people, connect better, and navigate life with more confidence. Which one are you excited to try first? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe to Cognitive Curves for more insights into the fascinating world of human behavior. Stay curious, stay sharp, and I'll see you next time.